wellness field for over 30 years, and it's a passion of mine. I like to study, to find out more and everything. So that's why when I find something interesting, I like to bring it to you guys, to the community. So we can go to the next slide. You know, everybody knows about the gut, and there's so many issues with the gut, and we have a lot of problems with the gut, and people just think it's your digestive system. It's your problem just with guts. Anybody here with gut problems? Okay. Sometimes we think of gut issues just like, you know, the stomach hurts or something's going on with the gut, but there's so many things, hello, how are you, that can go wrong with your gut. So many things that can go wrong with your gut. So the reason, let me see if I can change, oh, well, when she comes. The reason we say there's a gut-mind connection, and this has been studied for a while, and some of you that are into the health and wellness field, like, you know, that have actually writing books about this, know a lot of what I'm talking about. Who knows how the gut is connected to the brain? Any ideas? Okay, so the gut is connected to the brain, and I'm going to show you some things, just waiting for Carrie to turn it around, because everything is connected in your body. Everything is connected. If it's, you know, a muscle with a bone, with a ligament, with the blood, with the heart, everything is connected, and there's a huge connection of gut and brain. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, I don't know if you know, but we have all these are like little bacteria. You know, we have like 10 to, you know, a lot of cells in our body, but we have a lot of bacteria in our body. And some people are like, oh, we have bacteria in the body. If we didn't have, we wouldn't be alive. If we didn't have bacteria, we wouldn't be alive. So we have to treat them well. Okay, and that's why the food we eat is so important. And they're the ones, you know, that keep us healthy. They're the ones that keep our brain healthy, that keep our mood healthy, and all that things. Next slide. Okay. When we are born, we have colonization of bacteria during your first 2 years of life. Okay? So this bacteria start colonizing you, and it's very important when you're born. Even the pediatricians will tell you when you have like breast milk and the real deal, it's colonized better with good bacteria. We know about good bacteria and bad bacteria, right? So when you're born, that's extremely important that people have. Usually breast milk would help to give the right bacteria and helps with the immune system and all those things. But then the way we take care of ourselves, our lifestyle, is what keeps the good bacteria good in your body and keeps the bad bacteria away. We can go on to the next slide. Okay. Healthy gut is a healthy you. What does that mean? Okay. To understand the gut, we need to understand who lives inside. So there is, like I said, we have fungus, we have bacteria, we have viruses, we have poisons, we have arsenic inside our body, okay? And it's all in very small amounts. When you are little, in the old days, nowadays we don't do that anymore, but you go out in the dirt and you play with dirt and everything, that builds your immune system. You bring some bacteria inside your body, and it's the way that the body gets stronger with, you know, fighting that little virus that's inside of you. But we have a lot of things in our body that are important for our survival, even some nicotine. There's a lot of things that are already inside our body, and we have to keep it there, because that's the flora is what makes you who we are. Like when we take antibiotics, we kill all the bacteria, the good and the bad bacteria, and that affects everything. We're going to talk even more about this with how it affects your brain too, okay? So with this said, when you have these bacteria inside the body that are not doing well and they're sending you to leaky gut, that's like the bad bacteria. That's the bad bacteria that's inside of you. Next slide, please. Okay, what is the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria? Okay, so there's actually, I don't know, they say 100 trillion bacteria in the body. Do you believe that? 100 trillion bacteria in our body, okay? We are a walking bacterial colony, believe it or not. It sounds sometimes like disgusting, but it's not. It's like we have to take care of it the best way possible. Stomach ulcers are caused by bacteria, okay? Fiber is extremely important for us to eat. There's reasons why people say, eat this, is that, eat fiber. Bacteria eats fiber. That's how they stay healthy. So we don't, the bacteria eats the fiber, and they help everything colonize with good bacteria. So we have to have fiber in our food. The fruits and vegetables that we eat, why? Because apart from amino acids and all these beautiful things, they have fiber, and they eat that fiber, and that's extremely important. People that eat more meat diets have different bacteria than people that eat more grains and vegetables. Nowadays, there's a whole controversy about keto, paleo, vegetarian, vegan, whatever. But in all of this, it's important that you implement, doesn't matter how you eat, fruits and vegetables in your diet, okay? No matter what protein you're having. Next slide, please. Okay. Anybody heard about the leaky gut? Okay. And that's something that people don't want to talk too much about it. But the leaky gut is when, like, you have so much bad bacteria inside your body that they cannot find the fiber inside you, and they go to find it somewhere else. And they go to the lining to try and cut the lining to go out. And also, it happens when you eat very bad food, and a lot of bad things happen. So food is extremely important, but when you have the right food, you have the right fiber, you have the bacteria inside the body doing what's supposed to do, everything else happen like in a good way. Because actually, the connection of the brain to the gut is because in the gut is when most of our hormones are made. And that means depression or happiness, feeling good, or just like mental things. It all starts in the gut. And there's been thousands and thousands of study about that it's not only in your mind. When you start, and I don't know if you felt this, but when you start exercising, eating better, drinking more water, getting fresh air, you know, all these things affect your gut. And when you have good food inside of you, it affects your brain. There is a huge connection with the brain and the gut. And that's why it's important to take care of what you eat, okay? When there's an imbalance in your gut flora, when we have problems in our gut flora, it's because we are not eating well. And when we're not eating well, what happens? Your body starts craving more junk food. It's like when you it's like eating a potato chip or a French fry. You can only eat one. You need the second, a third, and before you know it, you're eating the whole thing. So that's important to understand, that when you start eating junk, you want more junk. And when your stomach is not good, when it's not healthy, it's like the bad guys, the bad bacteria kind of take over, and they want to survive. So they want more of the junk, and they want to get rid of the good bacteria. So you have to be careful when you're craving bad food. What is that telling me about your gut? You're not eating well. So a lot of times you have to cleanse, you have to detox, or you have to just try and change your diet, do some fruit juicing, or mostly vegetable juicing to help to clean up your system, okay? There's a lot of diseases linked to disturbances in the gut, okay? I'm not a doctor, I'm a health coach, but this is not me writing this down. This comes from studies that I've done. So I just want to put this out there. It's not me telling you this, but a lot of doctors have had issues with their clients, and allergies, huge. And I know that for a fact. Allergies, having issues with your gut, eating bad foods can create allergies. Immunity, diabetes, obesity, autism, colitis, asthma, eczema, indigestion. A lot of things happen when your gut is not good. And that's why I know some of you have been in my stretch class before. And in the morning, I do all that meditation thing, and we talk so much about the gut, because it's it's the most important part of the body, I think. Antibiotics can alter people's gut flora because they kill the good and the bad. That's why if you have to take antibiotics, make sure you have some probiotics and prebiotics, then you can take while you're doing that. One big misconception, people think that yogurt is the best thing for probiotics, and it's all to sell yogurt, because you have to really take probiotics. Yogurt is like the way when it's manufactured, it's just killing everything. Next slide, please. It's just showing me, like, this is just what we said before, all the diseases that are linked to the gut, okay? Everything that I talked about, even like Crohn's disease. I mean, I have a client with Crohn's disease, and there's just so many things she can eat because it affects her gut. So people don't understand the relationship. But your food, it's so important. That's why I'm so passionate about food, because your food will affect everything. And first of all, when it affects your gut, it will affect everything else, because your gut affects your mind. And when people start having specific things with like depression and not feeling good and tired and exhaustion, when we start changing the diet to a little bit more pure, sometimes we even have to go through raw diets. People go to Hippocrates to cleanse themselves and things like that. It helps to reshape the gut health. And then you feel better. And you feel better with your mind, because there is that connection. Next slide, please. Okay, again, we've got to think of our gut as our friend, and we have to treat it well, because the weight affects everything, okay? Very important thing is your immune system, and nowadays more than ever, we have to be so careful with our immune system. We know where we've been for this last 3 years. Our immune system, our innate immune system is so important. And if you're not healthy, if you're not eating good, if your gut's going to be affected. And 60% of the immune system comes from the gut. Okay, vitamin D is extremely important too, but the gut is one of the top things. And functional medicine is what I love to work with. Functional doctors will tell you that immune disease is generally treated with gut health. And if you go to natural functional doctors, they'll people that have immunity and problems with the immune system, they start with their gut. Sometimes they have to go to strict raw diets to get out, to start feeling better, and to just regenerate the whole gut's health. Kids that start having antibiotics when they're very, very young, once they get older, they have so many issues. And because they've been taking antibiotics forever. And so that's another, when I see kids nowadays that since they're little, they start on antibiotics, and it's crazy how unhealthy they are, just because that antibiotic is killing the flora. That's what makes you the healthiest that you can be. Your flora is king. And that's why vegetables is also important, because that's the fiber. That's what the body needs, okay? Our gut protects against pathogens, and a healthy flora will actually train our immune system to be strong. Our body is amazing if we give it a chance to be amazing. I mean, think about it. We eat so much crap, wanting or not wanting, But so much things we put in our body, and we just survive, until it comes to a point that the body's like, I can't do it anymore. But if you take care of your gut and you take care of eating healthy, you can actually make your immune system stronger. So how important is your gut health? Well, stress, mental and emotional health, diet, sleep, immunity, and your microbiome. So the mental and emotional health is what mostly we're talking about here today. But that mental and emotional health has everything to do with stress. So for me, it's like almost the same thing, okay? Immunity is what we just talked about. Even sleep is going to get affected if your gut is not healthy, okay? And again, the people don't understand, and this is huge, and this is just to remember that the studies they've done of people with the bad bacteria inside the body versus the good bacteria in the body, the mental health of a person changes just because your gut health is not there, okay? Very, very important. So when your mental health is not good, when you don't feel good, you bring stress into your life. And it's just a cycle. And, well, diet extremely important. Prebiotics and probiotics, you need both of them, okay? So anybody knows the difference of the prebiotics, probiotics? So most of the time, you hear probiotics. Just take probiotics. But you have to need two, because the bacteria is like your probiotics, and they need the prebiotics to eat. So they work in relationship. Fruits and vegetables are the best prebiotics that you can have, okay? And again, going to fruits and vegetables, we can even talk a little bit about it. Make sure you're eating organic and high quality, not, whatever's cheapened inside a bag, So we have to make sure that we take care of that. When you juice, you're getting all the minerals, you're getting all the vitamins, you're getting the antioxidants. You will be better off to do it if you're eating like an apple or eating broccoli or eating the food, then you get the fiber. Juicing is good overall for your health. You're going to get a little bit of fiber, but not as much as if you're eating the vegetable or the fruit. But there's so many different raw foods. Maybe some people will have a hard time digesting kale. Kale is a very hard raw food. Some people have a hard time digesting, but maybe if carrots, most people are fine with carrots, and you can cook carrots, and you're still getting the fiber from the carrot. So we have to see what the person needs, if the person has problems digesting food, but you can always find a way to put fiber in your body through vegetables and fruits. And most fruits have fiber. A lot of fruits have good fiber, okay? Like the gut, this is very interesting. This is the relationship we're talking about. So the gut should really be called your first brain because most things are generated in the gut level. And this is where the magic starts, okay? There's been a project, it's called the American Gut Project, that was found that the plant-based food is king because of your gut health, because the probiotics and the prebiotics are found in the fruits and vegetables. I think that the American Gut Project was done maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe even a little bit more, because I've remember, and it was like a talk with top PhD doctors for like 4 hours, and all they were talking about is how they know the relationship works and how do the bacteria affect the brain. And in like all in all, to summarize, is the more vegetables and fruits and vegetables you have in your diet, the more diverse your gut bacteria is going to be. And that's what's extremely important. And it's a colony, guys. There's things going on in there. And the more that we keep that growing, we keep them eating the fiber, they get stronger. They help with the lining of the body get stronger. They help oxygenate your body. They help all the serotonin and dopamine, all these hormones that go to your brain. It is when your gut is okay. And sometimes that connection can get lost if your gut is completely messed up. Okay? Fermented food, extremely, extremely good for your gut. Who likes kombucha? Oh, you have yours. Very good. Okay? It's very good. Kombucha a day keeps the doctor away. That's my new thing. And kefir, anybody drinks kefir? It's also a lot of fermented food. Sauerkrauts, without the sausage, please. Without the sausage. Okay, great probiotics for your gut. So fermented food is amazing for your gut. And you can even just put a little bit on the side, like a little sauerkraut to eat with whatever you want to eat. I mean, I love kombucha. Kefir is dairy, so some people, well, I don't need dairy, then do kombucha or do sauerkraut, or, there's so many different things that you can do. But find fermented food and eat a little bit of fermented food every day. Every day, okay? One thing that I'm going to say about kombucha, I drink kombucha every day, at least one kombucha a day. I just feel it helps me with digestion, and I like the taste. For people that are diabetic, kombucha has sugar. Okay, but so what I tell people, if you cannot have so much sugar, you have to be careful, maybe have less or dilute it a little bit. But it's the fermentation that is good. And if people don't want to do that, that's okay. You can have sauerkrauts. And there's kimchi. Kimchi too, it's another one. There's nowadays, because people are learning more and more about this, there is so many things that people are doing fermented. Who was it? I think Jackie was doing a lot of fermented food. Yeah. A lot of this. She was fermenting everything. So, you can go online and Google and find things. You can find a lot of things that can be fermented. And that's very good for your guts. So that's one suggestion. Anybody does fermentation here? Well, you do kombucha, because I see you drinking every day. So that's a good thing to implement, okay, in your diet. A little bit of fermented food. Okay? And some people get a little bit like this because it might taste a little bit like they don't like it. Little by little, start inputting that in your life. That's like a number one thing that I'm going to let people start doing. Okay, let's go to the next one. Huh? Yeah. Well, Go to the next slide, please. Yes. If we start talking about what's good, what's not good, I don't eat a lot of dairy. A little bit. I think everything should be done in moderation. Some things more in moderation than other things. I mean, because it's so good for a probiotic, I do a little bit. I like a little bit of kefir in the morning. Okay? And again, guys, even like we talk about, meat is good, meat is not good, dairy is bad, sugar is bad. Certain vegetables are not organic is bad. That is bad. At the end of the day, you're not going to eat anything. So everything has to be balanced, and we have to see how you are eating and what we can work. I mean, some people are lactose intolerant, so they really cannot have dairy. But you're not lactose intolerant, and you have high quality foods. That's the secret. High quality. Okay? That's the secret. Gut connections to the brain, guys. Our neurons, our brain cells are living around our gut. Most neurons are actually made in the gut. Fogginess, trouble concentrating, depression, anxiety starts in the gut. Did you know this? It's huge. And people don't know this. Most hormones are also made in the gut. 90% of serotonin, the happy hormone, feel-good hormone, is made in the guts. Okay? 50% of dopamine is made in our gut. When there's an imbalance of the neurotransmitter in the brain, there is an imbalance in the gut. And this have all been studies done by huge doctors, huge PhDs, and that's why I like to put this stuff in my presentation. Okay? Depression, anxiety, cramping, pain, constipation, low digestion. It's so important to understand that when you start, if you have those things, before you do anything, before you take any medication, try getting the nutrition going. Try fixing the gut a little bit and see if that helps. And if not, then yes, sometimes we have to go through other measures, and we have to go to doctors, and we have to do other things. But I think that always try the natural first, and then you go out. If it's something more, you have to go other ways, of course. But the gut is so huge in everything. So everybody got this, okay? You have a little thing, and you actually can just take this home later and check, is your gut stressed? And there's a little, thing that you can fill out and see if you're stressed out. On the side, it just tells you some gut issues and the antibiotics. It's just something to have that you can follow. It tells you that it's very important to eat fruits and vegetables. It's just like a little overall of what you can do. Intermittent fasting is actually also very important, very good for gut health when you do a little bit of intermittent fasting. Usually people do 8 to 16 hours. They eat 8 hours and they intermittent fast for 16 hours. And it's good for a little while, but the body's very smart. They get used to it. So people do it for weight loss. And it work at the beginning, and then it doesn't work anymore. The body is very smart. So the secret with, I prefer doing like for cleansing, to really cleanse and detox, 36 to 48 hours of cleanse, maybe every 6 months, and it's easy. Yeah. Once you get used to it, it's easy. But a lot of people do it intermittent just to close their digestive system and relax. And, because we actually almost eat 24/7. Every minute we're getting our digestive system to work. So that helps also the gut to rejuvenate and to get healthier. When you do, maybe a month of intermittent fasting, some people do that. Some people do it for even longer. Okay. Next slide, please. So this you can take home. And you can check how stressed your gut is. Next slide. And it's just here, guys. Who eats fruits and vegetables? How much fruit? Who eats fruits more than vegetables? Who eats more vegetables than fruits? Good. That's the name of the game. Fruits are great. I mean, fruits and vegetables, I say this, they're God-given, okay? So they are real food. Real food, we shouldn't worry about real food unless you have an issue, more sugar, especially with diabetes. You have to be more careful with fruits, especially fruit juices. But it's the best thing in the world. Whatever protein you want to add with it, some people prefer meat, some people prefer fish, some people become vegan. If it's high quality, it's okay. If it's high quality, it's okay. But the fruits and vegetables should be in your diet every day, especially vegetables for your gut health. And you should not Oh, I have somebody that told me the other day, oh, I eat salad every day. Very low nutritional value, very low fiber. Okay, it fills you up, so it's good. And it's nice and it's healthy and it's hopefully organic. But salad's not enough. Yeah, but there's like five or six vegetables. They're very, very good for your friends, your bacteria in there. Okay? Vegetable have carbs?
Yeah.
And?
Of course.
And?
Well, carbs are supposed to be not so good for you.
No. No. Carbs from flour, from not vegetables. Not vegetables.
Okay.
At all. 100% sure. Okay? That's the best thing you can eat. You cannot think of the carbs in the vegetable as a bad carb. Okay? That's king. That's the most important thing you should be eating.
Carbs is sugar, and I think vegetables do have sugar.
0.1%.
I agree. I eat vegetables all the time.
So
I understand your point.
Yeah, so that even come to my mind that they have carbs. Every food has a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, a little bit of carbs, a little bit, because that's real food. If it doesn't have anything inside, it's a chemical. It's not a food. Okay? But vegetable is, we need carbs for our bodies. Without carbs, you cannot turn glucose in your brain and you'll get foggy and you won't think. Okay? All these people that are totally zero carbs, look at them walking around. They don't even know where they're going. You need glucose. We need everything in our bodies. It's just we have to know the right things to do. Carbs from vegetables is the best carbs in the world. Kale, mustard greens, I know a lot of people don't even know what it is. Swiss chard, spinach, asparagus, very good for the gut because of the fiber, high in fiber. Broccoli, cauliflower, beets, Brussels sprouts, and there's one more I'm missing.
Tomatoes?
No. But those, cabbage.
Oh, yes.
Those are the more important, not only for gut health, very high in vitamins, in minerals, in antioxidants, okay? For example, zucchini, I love zucchini, but the nutritional value is almost not there. It's water, okay? It's good for you, it's healthy, it's everything, but you always try to get what's the most nutritious of them all. And these are the 10 more. Please, organic.
What about edamame?
Soy. Okay, it's okay. Just like people, you know, a lot of functional doctors, if people had cancer or predisposition for cancer, you have to be careful with soy products. But a little bit, I think it's fine, especially if it's in edamame form instead of the tofu that they do. Mm-hmm. Okay, questions. There's a corn here. So with corn, the only thing I worry about corn is because nowadays most corn is genetically engineered. And almost all of it. And the seed that the farmer buys to plant the corn is already genetically engineered. And we love corn on the cob, but you have to be so careful. And they did a study one time, and this is off the subject, with they got a worm, and they ate a kernel. Do you guys like corn? Because after this, you're not going to eat corn anymore. And they ate one kernel of the corn, and they died. Okay, because it's so toxic. But we're big, and we can handle it. So it's okay, corn on the cob once a month. But just be careful with corn. Everything is corn. Corn is it's important because they do everything with corn, to get sugar, to get this, to get that. They put in all the flours, all the things. So Hippocrates, all disease begins in the gut. Remember this. This is huge, and it's true. And it's really true. And that's why I'm so passionate about nutrition, because it's not about nutrition. It's not even about weight. It's about healthy and lifestyle and a good life and having energy and having stamina and having the will to go out and play pickleball, tennis, and come to my class and do a class and dance in my class. You know, to have life. I mean, we live in an amazing, we can have such an amazing life, but if you're not feeling good inside, nothing else matters. So take care of your gut. It's the most important thing because it affects your brain, it affects everything else, it affects your immune system, diseases, and a lot of other things. And I think that's it. There's one more slide, I think, just to cover it up. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So this is the presentation, guys. I hope this helps you to understand the importance of gut health. Okay, and we're having little fruits for you today. Please enjoy, and if you have any questions, let me know. If you need private one-on-one nutritional consultation, this is what I do. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Next presentation is April 22nd.